It's August the 22nd, and this is your Pacific Palisades Real Estate Market Update. I'm James Respondek with Rodeo Realty, and I've sold hundreds of homes to generations of Palisadians. Here is this week's important market activity. There are presently 79 listings in the Palisades. That's holding pretty steady, but historically low. A great time to sell. Just listed above the Village, 1415 Chautauqua Boulevard for $4,950,000. Now this is a beautifully, I think, really nicely redone, about 2,900 square foot home with amazing killer views. There is not really any real flat land, but part of that 2,900 square feet is a third level below. It's a really nice, like a, what you call it, a granny flat, in-laws, your teenagers, or whatever. Anyway, I like it. And guess what? The house next door sold a few years ago for $14 million. It's a little bit bigger. Just listed in the Las Casas Loop, 527 Las Casas, for under $2 million. How do you get that? Unbelievable. Well, it is only 1,345 square feet, and the lot is 3,250. And it does back up to Sunset, so you get a little sunset noise. But I'll tell you, this has been really beautifully redone. It's I think, a really cool little pied-à-terre, or a condo alternative, as they call them. Just listed in the Alphabet Streets, 15410 Albright Street for $2,850,000. It's probably a tear down, but this location is amazing. It's really super close to the Village, and this end of Albright is a cul-de-sac, so it's kind of cool. The lot's up just under 6,000 square feet, but it does back up to the condos behind you, so they kind of loom in on your backyard a little bit. So plant some really tall trees immediately. Just listed in the Palisades Highlands, 1116 Cumbre Alta for $4,800,000. This sold 2 years ago for $5,235, but these people did some really nice work to it. I mean, some of it is really gorgeous, and the views are spectacular because you look right down between the hills down to the ocean. So all you see is green and blue. Don't really see a whole lot of other houses, so I really like that part of it. And it's at the end of a cul-de-sac, so it's very private and quiet down there. Just listed in Rustic Canyon, 657 High Tree, listed for $4.5 million. Now this is a mid-century. It's had some updates, not totally, but it's got a nice vibe. It's about 2,400 square feet. The lot is a really nice 10,300 square foot lot, and it's beautifully wooded with some really gorgeous old trees, redwoods and sycamores and stuff like that, like you get in Rustic Canyon. And Rustic is one of my favorite areas of the Palisades. Between Rustic Canyon and Santa Monica Canyon, I love that location. Just listed in Marquez Knolls, 729 Enchanted Way, is listed for $4.5 million. Now this curiously sold 2 years ago for $3.3 million. They're touting it as having RTI, or ready to issue permits, for a house that's around 6,400 square feet, designed by Gatit Studio, who is mentored under Marmal Radzinger. Can you say all those things really fast? That's a lot of word twisting there. Anyway, so, I don't know, 3.3, and now it's 4.5, but it does have the plans. I don't know, we'll have to think about that. It has amazing views, and the area there, you got to be a little mindful, because some of that area has had some geology issues, so I'm sure they factored that in there. Just listed also in Marquez Knolls, right up the street from this one, 743 Enchanted Way. Very similar situation, only no plans. And I think the lot might be a touch smaller. $2.9 million for this one. Again, amazing views, okay? Just listed in Marquez Knolls, 1463 Floresta Place for $6.25. That's $6,250,000. And it's pretty much totally redone, 5160 square feet. It's a 1988 build, but again, as I said, totally redone. You know, they're calling it ultra contemporary. I'm calling it kind of like, I don't know, slick cool or something maybe. It does have a pool, it does have some views. It's nice, and it's also at the end of a cul-de-sac. Seems to be cul-de-sac week, doesn't it? Just sold in the Alphabet Streets 1180 Fisk Street, sold for $6,080,000. This is one of the OGs of the Palisades, built in 1925. It's a traditional style. It's been updated over the years, but it's going to need some more. Beautiful lot. This lot is 9,200 square feet. That's very generous for the Alphabet Streets. And it's a very top of Fisk, right at Bester, so it's a really nice location up there. Just sold in the El Medio Bluffs, 720 Almar Avenue for $5,150,000. This is a 2009 build, traditional, about 3,800 square feet on just under 7,000 square foot lot. You know, it's very traditional. It's got all the wainscotings and moldings and all that stuff that's very indicative of that kind of traditional. Just sold in the Alphabet Streets, 744 Iliff Street for $2,175,000. This is a little smaller than your typical 52. It's 5,000 square feet, but $2,175,000. I'm not sure if this means that some of those, you know, teardowns are starting to drop a little bit in price. We'll see what happens on the next one. Just sold in the Alphabet Streets, 1001 Iliff Streets, sold for $3.7 million. Now this is another corner lot, about 7,500 square feet. The house is a very worthy redo, okay? It's about 3,000 square feet, you know, traditional. It's been updated over the years, but it definitely needs it again. Well, at least by most people's standards these days, all right? And last but not least, just sold in the Alphabet Streets, 15422. Just sold again, I should say, because it sold 4 months ago. And now it just sold again. What's going on? Anyway, it sold 4 months ago for 6.4. This time around sold for 6,487.5. It's a 2018 build and a nice house on a very generous 9,300 square foot lot, 5,300 square foot house. It did back up to the condos behind, but in this case, they had very tall trees that virtually blocked it out. So I don't know if it's just, you know, coincidence that it sold really quickly again. Anyway, I hope this information has been helpful to you. And if you're looking to find your perfect home, I look at more property than probably anyone in the Palisades. Or if you're thinking of selling, like I said, low inventory, great time to sell. Call me, I'd love to help, and I'll see you next week.